You talk too much. Every negotiation you've ever lost, you lost with your mouth open. Silence terrifies you, and that terror is exactly why they keep winning. Picture the last room you walked into outgunned. They paused, and you panicked. You filled the gap with apologies, with justifications, with concessions nobody ever asked for. That gap wasn't an accident. It was a trap, and you built the bars yourself. This isn't about being polite in a meeting. This is about the salary negotiation that decides your next 5 years, the contract renewal that funds your company through winter, the settlement conversation where every extra sentence becomes leverage against you later. High stakes don't forgive chatter. High stakes punish it. Think about the last raise you didn't get, the vendor deal you signed too fast, the argument you thought you won by out-talking someone into silence, except they weren't persuaded. They just stopped spending energy on someone who couldn't stop talking long enough to listen. You called that a win. It wasn't. Machiavelli spent his life studying men who ruled through patience and fear, not chatter. He watched weak negotiators bleed power, one unnecessary sentence at a time. Every extra word you speak is a wound you open in your own position. Every person who has ever out-negotiated you knew something you didn't. They weren't smarter. They weren't more prepared. They were just comfortable in a silence you couldn't survive. That wasn't a fair fight. It was an asymmetry, and you didn't even know it existed. Hyenas don't negotiate with lions. They wait until the lion bleeds, then they close in. Right now, in every deal, every salary talk, every late-night argument, you are bleeding information, and somewhere something with sharper teeth is watching. This isn't a personality flaw. You are not just a talker. This is a tactical error, and tactical errors get corrected. Silence is not the absence of strategy. Silence is the strategy. Today you learn 7 weapons: the vacuum law, why silence forces confession, the tactical pause, how timing breaks their composure, information asymmetry, knowing more while saying less, the unanswered question, 4 seconds that dismantle confidence, reading their silence, the skill almost nobody bothers to learn, silence as status, why patience reads as dominance, and the walk-away void, the silence that ends in surrender. Stay until the end. The 7th weapon alone will change how every room treats you. Most people watch the first 2 and skip the rest. That's exactly why most people still lose. Before we go further, subscribe. What you're about to learn isn't taught in business school. It's taught in war rooms. Nature hates an empty space. So does the human mind mid-conversation. The moment you go quiet, their brain registers a vacuum, and vacuums demand filling. This happens because you were trained since childhood with a covert contract, an unspoken rule that says when one person speaks, the other must respond. Silence breaks that contract. To them, it feels like a small social violation, like a breath held too long. Oh, picture a wolf standing motionless in a clearing. Prey doesn't know if it's been seen, and the not knowing is far worse than the attack. Stillness is the predator's first weapon, long before the teeth ever show. Most people mistake the predator's patience for passivity, right until it's too late to notice the difference. Sun Tzu wrote it centuries before any negotiation table existed. All warfare is based on deception. Silence is the purest deception there is. You reveal nothing. They assume everything. And what people assume in a vacuum, they almost always assume is danger. State your position, your number, your terms. Then stop. Don't soften it. Don't add, but we can discuss. Don't smile to ease the tension. Hold the silence like a soldier holds a position under fire. Count to 3 in your head. Watch what happens. They move first. They almost always move first. Say your position once, plainly. Stop talking the instant the sentence ends. Hold eye contact. Don't fidget. Don't fill the air. Breathe slowly through your nose so you never look like you're holding your breath. Let their discomfort do your negotiating for you. The vacuum law works because human beings are wired for resolution. But resolution is about to become your second weapon, because once they start talking just to fill your silence, timing becomes everything. They just made an offer. Your instinct screams to answer fast. Kill that instinct right now. Speed signals hunger, and hunger signals weakness. The fox that snaps at every scrap starves slower than the fox that waits. When you pause after their offer, their brain expects an immediate reply. You don't give one. That gap between expectation and reality has a name. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance. The discomfort is real. It's physical. Their pulse quickens. Their mind races to explain your silence, and the explanation they reach for first is almost always the same. My offer wasn't good enough. You haven't said a word. Yet you've already moved them. Machiavelli understood this long before psychology had a name for it. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few know what you really are. Your face stays unreadable. Your timing stays unpredictable. They cannot negotiate against a position they cannot read. Wait a full 3 seconds before responding to any offer. Keep your expression flat. No nodding, no wincing. If they ask, well, wait 1 more second before answering. Never explain the pause. Explanation is weakness leaking out. This is uncomfortable to practice. Do it anyway. Comfort is for people who lose. Every rushed answer in your career has cost you a better number. Every single one. But timing alone won't save you if they know what you actually need. While you stay silent, you should be doing something far more dangerous than waiting. Every negotiation is a war fought with information, not money. The side that knows more wins more. Information is the one currency that never runs out mid-negotiation. It's that simple. It's that brutal. Silence isn't just withholding your words. It's a vacuum that pulls their words out instead. People do not tolerate empty air. They narrate it. They explain it. They justify it. And every single justification hands you a weapon. This is information asymmetry. You know their deadline. You know their hesitation. You know exactly which number made them flinch. They know almost nothing about you because you gave them nothing to know. Think of a fox watching a henhouse before it moves. It doesn't rush in. It studies the patterns. The fox that strikes first, blind, dies hungry. The fox that waits, watches, and strikes once, eats. Patience isn't passive in the animal kingdom. It's the most efficient hunting strategy there is. Machiavelli warned rulers constantly about this exact danger. He who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. Most people deceive themselves into believing silence means weakness. Let them keep believing it. Ask one short question, then stop talking completely. Let their answer run longer than feels natural. Don't rescue them from it. Write down what they reveal, because they will reveal far more than they ever intended. Mirror their pace once they start talking to keep them going, and never confirm what you already know. Let them keep explaining it to you. Right now, you're collecting intelligence, while they think they're just filling space. But information only matters if you know what to do the moment they finally stop talking and wait for your answer. Those are the most dangerous 4 seconds in any negotiation. They ask you a direct question. Is that your final number? Your old self answers immediately. Your new self does something else entirely. You let it hang. 4 seconds of silence after a direct question feels like 40 to the person who asked it. Watch their face. Watch the shift. This is the exact moment prey behavior and predator behavior split completely apart. Who controls a conversation? The person who answers fastest, or the person who decides when to answer at all? It's the second person. It is always the second person. An unanswered question forces the asker to reconsider their own words. They start negotiating against themselves, softening their stance, adding context, sometimes answering the question for you. You haven't moved an inch, but they've moved twice. Machiavelli's lions don't explain themselves to wolves circling the perimeter. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Respect, in a negotiation, often starts with discomfort, not charm. Discomfort isn't cruelty. It's a filter. It separates people who actually respect you from those who were only ever testing how far they could push. When asked a direct question, exhale slowly before answering. Repeat their question back once, slowly, to buy more silence. Answer with a question of your own when you can, and never apologize for the pause. Apology kills the effect instantly. You've learned to make them wait. Now you need to learn what their silence actually means when the roles reverse, because not every silence is the same, and reading it wrong gets you eaten. Every weapon so far has been about your own silence. Now you need a different skill. You need to read theirs. A wolf goes still before it strikes. A rabbit goes still because it's already lost. Confuse the two and you'll either retreat from a bluff or walk straight into an ambush. Watch the body, not just the gap. Shoulders dropped, eyes down, breathing shallow. That's retreat. Press there, shoulders square, eyes locked, breathing steady. That's a predator recalculating. Push there and you get bitten. Read it wrong even once, and you'll spend the rest of the negotiation paying for that single mistake. Most people panic the instant the other side goes quiet. They rush to fill the gap with a better offer, a concession, an apology nobody requested. That's one of the oldest mistakes in the book. You do not owe anyone rescue from a silence they created themselves. Sun Tzu put the whole discipline in one line. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Most people never bother to study the silence in front of them. They're too busy panicking inside their own. When they go quiet, do nothing for at least 5 seconds. Watch, don't assume. Check their posture before you check the clock. Resist the urge to help them respond, and let their silence finish its work. If their silence stretches with calm posture, match it. Don't blink first. You can read silence now. You can hold silence now. What's left is the hardest lesson of all, because patience and timing mean nothing if you haven't done what most people never do. Watch any room with a real hierarchy. The most powerful person rarely speaks first. They don't need to. Junior employees fill silence to prove value. Executives let silence prove patience. Status in any negotiation gets measured by who can tolerate the discomfort longest, not by who has the better argument. This requires shadow integration. You have a colder, more calculating side. Society told you to bury it, smile more, and soften every edge. Bury that capacity, and you walk into every negotiation half-armed. The hyena that denies its own hunger doesn't become gentler. It just gets out-hunted by the hyena that didn't. You weren't born polite. You were trained polite by people who needed you compliant more than they needed you capable. That training served them. It doesn't serve you in a room where the other side trained for war while you trained for harmony. Owning your capacity for ruthlessness isn't villainy. It's inventory. You're simply counting weapons you already had, but never used. Machiavelli put it without apology. Never was anything great achieved without danger. Comfort and dominance rarely share a room. Pick one or the room will decide it for you. Practice silence in low-stakes conversations first to build the muscle before the war. Notice who fills silence around you. That's your map of the room's real hierarchy. Stop narrating your own thinking out loud. Let decisions land in silence. Then speak once. Sit in stillness for 10 full seconds before any important reply, even outside negotiations. You've built the discipline. Now comes the weapon most people never dare to use. The silence that doesn't just pressure them, but threatens to end things entirely. This is the weapon you save for last. Use it too early and it loses every tooth it has. At some point in any high-stakes negotiation, you must let the silence stretch past comfortable, past tactical, straight into territory where it feels like the deal might actually be dying. Most people panic here. Don't. This is where leverage gets decided, not lost. A lion doesn't chase prey across an open field. It waits near the water, motionless, until the prey's own thirst brings it close enough to strike without wasting a single step. The walkaway void works the exact same way. You stop pursuing the deal. You let your silence imply you're prepared to walk. A real preparation, not a bluff. They can smell a bluff the way prey smells fear. Sun Tzu called this the highest form of victory. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. No raised voice, no ultimatum. Just stillness with teeth behind it. Most people never get here because they break 3 weapons earlier. The moment the silence first feels uncomfortable. You won't. Only deploy this after you've genuinely accepted walking away as a real option. State your position once, then physically prepare to end the meeting. Close the folder, check the time. Let the silence run far longer than feels socially acceptable. If they don't move, you have your answer. Walk. A real predator never begs. You now hold 7 weapons most people will spend entire careers without ever learning. The only question left is whether you'll actually use them or talk yourself out of it the same way you've talked yourself out of every advantage before this one. 7 weapons. One mindset shift. From this point forward, silence is not your discomfort. Silence is your scalpel. Every negotiation you walk into from today is a different battlefield, because you are a different operator. The vacuum law, the tactical pause, information asymmetry, the unanswered question, reading their silence, status through patience, the walk-away void. You don't need all 7 in every room. You just need the discipline to choose the right one and hold it. This isn't about becoming cold for the sake of being cold. It's about closing the gap between what you're capable of and what you actually do under pressure. Most people already have this discipline somewhere in them, but they spend every negotiation overriding it with the need to be liked. Nothing changes if you close this file and keep talking the way you've always talked. The hyenas circling your next negotiation don't care that you know this frameworks. They only respond to what you actually do differently. Knowledge you don't use isn't power. What good is a weapon you never draw? It's just weight you carry into rooms where you'll keep losing anyway. The clock on every future negotiation is already running, whether you train for it or not. Ask yourself this question one last time. How many deals, raises, arguments, and relationship have you lost simply because you couldn't tolerate forced silence? That ends today if you let it. Not because a lesson changed anything by itself, but because you're about to walk back into a room and do something different with the next 4 seconds of silence that folds. Disturb now. This channel exists for people done losing rooms they should be controlling. New strategy breakdowns drop constantly, and the ones who actually apply them are the ones who stop being prey. Before you go, prove you absorbed this. Write "Iron Silence" in the comments below, not as a slogan, as a commitment. The next time silence falls in a room you're standing in, own it, don't fill it. The lion doesn't explain its stillness to the wolves circling outside. It just waits. So do you. Starting now.